going on, Jerome's? So obviously, Randy friggin' Moss is, if not the greatest, one of the greatest receivers of all time. For my money, greatest. Like Jerry Rice, system wide receiver. But Randy Moss was absolutely a game changer and just a Vikings legend through and through. Even though it would have been nice to have his whole career with the Vikings, sort of is what it is. But also, just looking up the random graphics, his stats for his 2 seasons at Marshall, because people forget he was at Marshall for 2 seasons. 1 year they were 1 AA. All right, so could you imagine? So sophomore Randy Moss against 1 AA corners. Just like East Harlington State, best of luck. But his 2 seasons at Marshall were things of legends. And I've implored, so Mitchell and Ness, you do fantastic work. You need to holla at Marshall University, the pride of Huntington, West Virginia, I think. And you need to be like, hey, let us print some Randy Moss Marshall jerseys and let's make $1 billion. Or at least Andy will buy one. That is all. That's all, man. That's all I'm saying. We need the Ocho all up in here, right? But, of course, Randy Moss is a Vikings legend. Long story longer, Randy does indeed have some thoughts about new Minnesota Vikings future franchise quarterback JJ McCarthy, the rookie coming out of Michigan. He was on Up and Adams with Kay Adams this morning, the legend Kay Adams. They're up in Detroit. I think it was Calvin Johnson's charity golf event. I wonder how Randy is as a golfer. So he's a great fisherman, obviously. I don't know. He might be too tall for golf, because that's the thing they said about Michael Jordan, is that he's too tall for golf. Or I don't know. Maybe that's just like people talking. Anyways, but Randy Moss said this about the JJ McCarthy situation. Kay, I don't want to see JJ McCarthy at all this year. Is it because of the broccoli haircut? Moss, why not? I think the best thing for him is to sit, learn, because that means Sam Darnold is doing a good job. Moss, when we played back in the day, it's been a while since we did it back in the day. The first 3 guys we drafted, so the first 3 rounds, were playing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, the 4th, 5th, 6th rounds may or may not see the field, may be a special teamer. First 3 rounds, we played. Now, we're drafting guys first round who are not even seeing the field. So you asked me a question. I don't care if he's not ready. He needs to be out there. Now, there's a couple things about this. One, I mean, this seems like Randy, like old school. You know, back in my day, we walked to school uphill both ways. Why didn't you walk around the hill? Shut up. This is easily disprovable, right? Because literally in Randy Moss's second year, the Vikings drafted Dante Culpepper. Get your roll on, baby. Number 11 overall in 1999, and he sat his rookie year. So Culpepper was the highest drafted quarterback in team history at number 11 overall before McCarthy was taken number 10. So I understand what Moss is getting at. But the thing is, too, like back in the day, like guys would be drafted first round, doesn't matter, especially quarterbacks, and they would sit for 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, you look at Phillip Rivers behind Drew Brees, you look at Rodgers and Favre, you look at Jordan Love behind Rodgers. So you look at Steve Young with Montana, even though he wasn't drafted by San Francisco. I mean, there's been situations where guys have sat before, and sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be bad, right? But with McCarthy, I do think that there is benefits from him sitting, and I think the benefits outweigh the negatives of him not playing as a rookie. And plus, like Kay said, like it could mean that Sam Darnold's doing good because all the weapons are there, right? And well, part of me sees the plan with Kevin O'Connell. I think it's pretty obvious, and O'Connell's talked about how getting a redshirt season for McCarthy is the best plan. There's a lot of things to work on, and you want to get him acclimated, but a certain part of me is just like, F it, we ball. Just toss the kid in the deep end of the pool and see if he can swim. And I understand that that's a bad way to go about things. That's basically what the Jets did to Sam Darnold, ironically. But you don't know if he's going to be C.J. Stroud unless you see if he's C.J. Stroud. I mean, that could be part of it too. And it's a non-zero chance that McCarthy comes in and he's so damn good in training camp and preseason that you can't ignore him. And the whole redshirt plan, Darnold as a bridge quarterback, just goes out the window. It's like, hey, just give the keys to the Cadillac, and he'll make mistakes. There'll be some ups and downs, but let's kickstart my heart and let's get things going with McCarthy. So I don't know, like I still believe in the O'Connell plan with McCarthy, but again, a certain part of me, it's like basically it's like you see your Christmas present under the tree for like a week ahead of Christmas, but you just gotta wait, just gotta sit and wait. You just want to rip and. All right, so I think the statute of limitations is passed. So when I was 7, was I 7? No, might have been 5 or 6. But actually, I think it was 5. 5. Saw a huge, rather large gift underneath the tree, and was very curious, right? And I took a little peek, just jimmying down the sides where the folds were, and then I saw gloriousness. Super Nintendo, with the Super Mario World and also with Home Alone in there, plus Donkey Kong Country. Let's go, man. And then a little Scotch tape, put it back on the seam, and just like I had to live a lie for a week. I had to contain my excitement, and I didn't want to tip off my parents by being too happy because they know I wasn't a happy kid. So if I was all giddy, like they'd be like, "What's up with him?" Or something like that. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah. All right, so Randy Moss thinks that McCarthy should be out there, whether he's right or not. We'll see. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts on Moss's thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe. Again, look at these numbers. Skull production value.